Hello, everyone, and welcome back to. uh, I want to take a moment to let those of you who have voiced in comments of the original playthrough I did of this game how much you enjoyed it and such, that it means a lot to me to see heartwarming comments from you talking about how much you were enjoying my commentary, the things I shared as I was playing through the game, that you enjoyed. One of you just recently said that you enjoyed that I played as a dwarf, since you apparently rarely see other content creators actually play through this game as a dwarf. So, which makes sense, since a lot of people were usually either going to be playing as an elf or as a kunari or even as a human. Dwarves don't get a lot of love, unfortunately. And I'm one of the few who prefers dwarves over elves, but that's just me. It's always nice to see those pop up on the original playthrough. Someone telling me just the other day that they really were enjoying the commentary of that playthrough that they found. So thank you for that. So I hope, for those of you who enjoyed the original run, that you're excited for this one. This alternate run. Keep in mind that original run was on my PlayStation 4, and it was without mods, obviously. And it was an interesting experience. And that was also the second time. Now, I actually made some mistakes in that run. Probably the most notable one I made was with Iron Bull, telling him to save the Dreadnought instead of the Chargers, which at the time I did not know that was going to cause him to betray me in Trespasser, because keep in mind, I was doing that before Trespasser came out, and that was not something I had anticipated. So, now that we know about that, obviously I will be making amends with that this time. And that's something else I want you guys to keep in know, especially if there are any of you who are stumbling upon this for the first time, is that I'm not going to shy away from bringing up anything that is spoiler territory here. Okay, we're going to be going through this as if we have already played through the game and know what happens. We know about Solus and other things about the story. Keep in mind also, at the time that I'm recording this, they have already announced the next Dragon Age game, which will be called Dragon Age Dreadwolf, since by the end of Trespasser, it's very, very clear that they indicate that Solus is going to be a big part of the next one in terms of probably the main antagonist that we're going to have to deal with, and whether or not we chose to either go against him or try to change his mind. I'm also excited about the idea that the implication was that we're going to be going more in probably to the Imperium to see more of Tevinter, because we've never actually seen Tevinter in this series, not in the games anyway. And that's got me excited. And of course, I will be talking more about that when we get to Dorian, which I find to be one of the more interesting characters, just simply because he was someone from Tevinter who basically changed our view on Tevinter. We thought they were this mustache-twirling evil place, when it turns out that's not actually the case, which I'm glad that actually ended up being the case, as Dorian shed light on that. But anyways, just to make it clear, this is going to be a playthrough on the PC with mods. And I have quite a few mods, and I'll go ahead and share with you guys what mods that I have set up. In fact, I have restarted this playthrough. I actually started with a few parts in, but then I found a couple more mods I wanted to use, which did cause some issues for an in-progress run. So I decided I'll just go ahead and start the playthrough over. So we're going to start making our character from scratch, and I shared that I was able to find some mods to help me kind of figure out what to do in terms of, fixing or preparing what I want. So, oh gosh, it got cut off. The top of the photo of the screenshot of the mods I have for this was cut off. So it's like the very top. So I think there's like one. I believe it's supposed to be increased leveling XP. It's supposed to start with. It's an alphabetical order. So, but some of the other mods Abilities revamped specifically for the mage, there because we're going to be playing a mage in this run. I tried doing it for the other classes, but that actually caused some issues. So I'm just having some here specifically for this character. Since I don't have any other characters set up here. I did for testing runs, but I got rid of them just to clear things up. Ability trees for various different race class combinations. Amulet of Power Unlimited. And then this mod is the way I'm going to be able to show off the Cullen romance on a Kunari, because we're going to be playing a Talvashoth mage in this run, a female, and she's going to be romancing Cullen. And the only way I was able to get that to happen is with this other mod called Buy Cullen Mod 2.0, which basically allows any race in the game, and any gender, to go ahead and romance Cullen. Because it used to be he would only romance a elf or a human. Now, he can romance a Kunari. Buffed DLC crafting materials by 300%. Buffed crafting materials... buffed DLC crafting materials by 300%, and buffed crafting materials by 200%. Bugs Be Gone and Bugs Be Gone patch, mainly not... that's not referring to, like, actual, like, critters in the game. That's actual, like, technical bugs, you know, glitches and such. Choose Your Divine. Configurable inventory capacity. All Bard songs for CC music instrumentals only. Herald of Andraste dialogue fix. No Falling Snow part 1 and 2. What's going on here? Tone fix. Dagna Skin tint fix. Easy runes. Vivienne complexion tweak. Enhanced rejuvenating barrier. Enhanced winter stillness. Fall damage nullified. Faster movement speed by 100%. Free stores. GFTG shop. Gifts from the gods. Vivienne hair bob hair Q. SK human F asymmetrical bob. Inventory capacity. Inquisitor tree overhauled mage. Just Sarah new browse. Level up tweaks main file. More banter. More fade touched. More influence. For quests, operations, and repeatables. More Inquisitor levels, more research items, no perk requirements. Ponytail for female Kunari, quick start, quicker looting, Rose, female Kunari complexion, schematic spree, search radius increased by 100%, Segrich, straight Sarah mod 2.0, straight Dorian mod. Now, I know this may cause someone listening... hearing me say that to perhaps raise some eyebrows or get concerned. I have seen comments on the mod page of people who are different sexualities, including a man who claimed to be gay, that he was fully in favor of this mod because, as he put it in his comment, he wanted everyone to experience the romance that his character experienced with Dorian. So if you're thinking, oh, this is, it's horrible to do that, there are people... that they're just giving their endorsement. I'm just letting you guys know about that. So, in case I ever want to have one of my female characters romance Dorian, that's kind of why I got that. So, and TMM experience setting configuration, TMM Inquisition armor schematics, invisible Grand Fear Demon. Invisible spiders. So yes, I found another mod to get rid of spiders in this game. Thank goodness. I was concerned I wasn't going to be able to find one for this game. And then I found one. So from what I understand, it's not, if you're thinking, oh gosh, invisible spiders, it sounds horrible. They have things like health bars on the screen to let you know that they are there. You just don't have to see them. And this includes the cutscenes. So the opening cutscene we're going to see here after we make our character, where she's trying to escape the Fade and spiders are chasing her, we won't actually have to see those spiders, so thank goodness for that. Holodor Hamsharal, Kunari Recipes Upgrade. Hold on, just went to the next one. Rare Weapons Mage, Rare Weapons Rogue, Warrior, Red Cliff Supply DLC 0, Starting Armor All Races, Armor Upgrade Shop, Remove Level Restriction Base Game, Remove Level Restriction Trespasser DLC, Trespasser Schematics 1.0, 1.2 Revised, Trespasser Schematics Shop, Triple Ability Points, War Table, No Waiting, and webs be gone. And that's it. So yeah, that's that's one of those mods at the very bottom I just listed. The war table no waiting. That removes the timers on those war table missions. I think that was the #1 mod for this game on the Nexus mod site, which is no surprise to me, because how many of you were frustrated at some of those missions that would literally take like multiple days to complete, like real life time? That was annoying. I really couldn't stand that. So hopefully this is going to make the experience of playing through this game again much more enjoyable and faster paced and smooth. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the original version of the game, the vanilla version, I guess we could call it. The problem is, it made playing through this game again, I guess, kind of a chore or tedious and just kind of exhausting and tiresome, because the game is huge and requires a lot, plus you're also leveling, but it also can be tough and require you to level in order to progress. And I don't get fond of that kind of grind in a game where I'm just trying to play through it multiple times on multiple characters, experiencing the different choices and various aspects of the story, like in the previous two games. I have played through Origins and 2 more times than I have Inquisition, because Inquisition was just more of a chore, more running around, more gathering resources, more having to do table missions, all these things that just would just make me go, oh my gosh, I don't want to play this. It was too slow at times. Hopefully this is going to be a different experience in that regard. So, anyways. By the way, I actually listened to the theme here, and I can't help but just get fired up and ready to go when I hear this theme on the menu here. I talked before about how the differences for the Dragon Age soundtracks. I still stick by what I say when it comes to Inquisition soundtrack. Epic is really the word that comes to mind when I hear this music. I mean, just listen to this if you can. I'm trying to obviously avoid any possible copyright issues, which is why it's turned down, so yeah. So what do you guys say we go ahead and get underway here? It's just an explosion, don't worry about it. So, like I said, we are going to be playing a female Qunari mage. The Qunari are a race of horned giants who follow a strict religious text known as the Qun. Those who have abandoned its principles are known as Tal Vashoth, and often work as mercenaries. Qunari characters get a bonus, plus 10% physical damage resistance. And remember, I want you guys to remember when we encountered that Qunari mage in Dragon Age 2, the Cerebos, and how they treat their mages in the Qun. Now, I'm going to talk about this a bit more, especially when we get to know more about the character we're playing. This is revealed both in the codex about our character, plus in conversations. I think it's also when she talks with Iron Bull, that we come to find out that the Qunari we are playing is that her parents were part of the Qun, and then they left. I don't recall what the reasons were, but they got out of it, and I believe they were also humans. That they weren't part of the same race, that they were actually humans that were probably given us, maybe as a baby, to be raised within the Qun by the Qunari, and then they left with us, and they raised us outside of the Qun. So we were never brought up in the ways of the Qun. We were you can imagine what it must have been like for her growing up as this Qunari race with human parents, probably amongst other humans and such, And, well, when we select our character, you'll get a bit more about her backstory here. It's obviously a little different based on what your class is, but not by much. Followers of the strict religious philosophy of the Qun, the Qunari appeared like a tidal wave to the north of Thetis 300 years ago. You are Tal Vashoth, a Qunari who has rejected the Qun and never even lived in Qunari lands. You have earned a place within the Valokos mercenary company as its mage, possessing abilities that would have made you a pet slave among your own people, indeed. Ignoring the fearful looks you receive from those around you. Most recently, the company was sent to the Chantry Conclave, hired swords meant to keep the peace between the mages and the Templars. A task that has gone horribly wrong. And there we go. I went ahead and just double-checked and refreshed the world state we were importing to this. I was partly double-checking whether or not I could tweak a choice or two, but that actually affected other choices, and I realized some choices I made in 2 are not going to properly reflect in this game. For example, the part about Hawk having Aveline leave and head back to Ferelden, I don't think that's reflected here. We're going to hear Varric say that she stayed in Kirkwall, when that's not really what we saw in the playthrough that I did, but whatever. So now we're going to go to the character creator, and one of the other things that adding those other mods in the progress of the playthrough did is actually affected my character. Now, it's not a huge deal. In fact, I don't even have to worry about it that much right now because we can get the Black Emporium later, and of course, if you guys remember from Dragon Age 2, the Black Emporium provided a mirror that allowed you to customize your character's appearance. So basically, how you change, make your character look here is not final. You can always go re-change the appearance of your character later if you're not okay with it. So I'm going to mess around with her a bit, not too much, because like I said, I can always just kind of tweak her appearance later in the Black Emporium if I'm not entirely okay with it. So I'm going to mess around with her appearance a bit, and then we'll continue. I'll be right back. Alright, so I've like I said, not too many changes here. Just a few little changes, and that's it. If I want to change, I'll just change it later. And I was going to go with a kind of a Qunari type of name. It defaults to Hera. And there were a couple other ones I found out, but I decided to go ahead and do something kind of special. At the time of this recording, we actually just recently lost the actress who played Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek, the original series. She was 89 years old. Just passed away from natural causes, old age. It's very sad because we now have only 3 people of the main characters from the original series of Star Trek still with us. Captain Kirk, Mr. Sulu, and Mr. Chekhov. That's it. And William Shatner is 91, so who knows when he's going to go. But in honor of Lieutenant Uhura, the actress who played her, we're going to go ahead and name our Qunari after her. So let's see if this mod worked properly. Yep. I know it looks a little strange, but at the same time it's the fade, so it's just kind of this like little mist around where they're supposed to be. That's all I need. I don't need to see them up close. Those horrible, disgusting things. There's also one that does the same thing to the big giant demon spider later on in the big fade mission we do. It's gonna look a little awkward, but we know it's there. We don't have to see it. So what do you guys say we have a little reunion with a couple of friends? Although not for her, but for us. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Liliana.
Tell me why we shouldn't kill you now. The Conclave is destroyed. Everyone who attended is dead. Except for you.
You think I'm responsible?
Explain this.
I... can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I don't know what that is, or how it got there.
You're lying!
We need her, Cassandra.
So a couple things I want to touch on real quick. One, if you're probably noticing the voice. So I have seen the majority of people who have played a female Inquisitor. They always tend to go with the other voice actress, which don't get me wrong, she does a great job. I think she's absolutely fine. But I feel like this voice actress that I chose for this Inquisitor kind of needs some time to shine because she doesn't really seem to get that. You know? Like I said, I hardly ever see anyone actually choose to have her be the voice. So I thought I would go ahead and give her some time to shine. And don't get me wrong, like, when I played Thorix, you heard the other deep, American Moor voice actor compared to the other one, which, don't get me wrong, I do love that other voice actor because he plays the Red Prince in Divinity Original Sin 2, which I think he's absolutely fantastic. But, I like to sometimes give other voice actors time to shine when I notice more people tend to show them off in their playthroughs. So, the other thing is that I'm still kind of torn on how I want to play this character. It was kind of easy for me to figure out how to play the characters we played in Origins and especially in 2. But here, I'm still a little kind of torn on how exactly I would want to play her as. Then one of the things, the reason why I chose the first one was because she's kind of come to expect that because she looks like a Kunari and she's a mage, that she's going to just draw a whole bunch of natural suspicion on top of her from people. Even if it's not warranted, it's something she's had to constantly deal with basically her entire life. So she's wondering if maybe this is because she's, the reason Cassandra's accusing her of this is because she is a Kunari or a mage. She's like, well, of course you're accusing me, because of those things. Whether or not that's true, but she doesn't know that at the moment. She doesn't know it has to do with the circumstances and the rift and the mark. But that's kind of like one of those things where she's just like expecting that to kind of come her way. But she's also not, like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still figuring it out as how to play this character as I go along. So, like, she was also, tried to raise... Let me say that again. She was raised by her parents to basically try and, do the right thing or be a good person and all that. So she wasn't brought up to be like a bad person or anything, like, because they were outside the queue, and therefore they were able to raise her how they saw fit in terms of outside of whatever the Kunari told them to raise her as. So
what happens now?
Do you remember what happened? How this began?
I remember running. Things were chasing me, and then... a woman.
A woman?
She reached out to me, but then...
Go to the forward camp, Liliana. I will take her to the rift.
What did happen?
will be easier to show you. We call it the Breach. It's a massive rift into the world of demons that grows larger with each passing hour. It's not the only such rift, just the largest. All were caused by the explosion at the Conclave.
An explosion can do that?
This one did. Unless we act, the Breach may grow until it swallows the world. Each time the Breach expands, your mark spreads, and it is killing you. It may be the key to stopping this, but there isn't much time.
You still think I did this? To myself?
Not intentionally. Something clearly went wrong.
And if I'm not responsible?
Someone is, and you are our only suspect. You wish to prove your innocence? This is the only way.
You're probably noticing, for those of you who perhaps have seen this game a number of times, that there's no snow falling. I was under the suspicion that the snow in this area was causing me to have some performance issues. This game can be a little demanding, depending on what your specs are. And I was suspicious that snow falling in this forest-filled area was causing that. So that's one of the mods I found that actually gets rid of the snow in this area, just in case it was causing some issues. Just wanted to kind of point that out.
You say it may be the key. To doing what?
Closing the Breach. Whether that's possible is something we shall discover shortly. It is our only chance, however. And yours.
So, if I do what you want, will I live through it?
We have no way of knowing. They have decided your guilt. They need it. The people of Haven mourn our most holy, divine Justinia, head of the Chantry. The Conclave was hers. It was a chance for peace between mages and Templars. She brought their leaders together. Now they are dead. We lash out like the sky, but we must think beyond ourselves, as she did. Until the Breach is sealed. There will be a trial. I can promise no more. Come. It is not far.
Where are you taking me?
Your mark must be tested on something smaller than the Breach.
So real quick, before we cut it off, just want to go ahead and read the entry about our own character here. The Qunari and Parvalen live under the Q, a religious and philosophical doctrine dictating every aspect of their society. Uhura Adar's parents left that restrictive life before she was born, settling in the free marches. So I was a little wrong when I was giving that little summary at the beginning. Sorry. This is why I wasn't entirely clear on my recollection of it. Settling in the free marches and raising their child outside the Qun. Qunari brought up outside their society are still feared, shunned, or misunderstood by most people in the south. The average citizen of Orlais or Ferelden assumes that they are cold-blooded thralls or vicious bandits. When Uhura manifested a gift for magic, her parents arranged for a mage among the Tal Vashoth to teach her how to control her talents. She joined the Valokas mercenary company as a young adult, making a name for herself over the years as a capable and powerful mage. Uhura was hired to provide protection at the Conclave as a neutral party to stand between the Templars and human mages. After the disastrous explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes that killed the Divine, Adar was the only survivor. Rumors that the mysterious mark on her hand is a sign of the Maker's favor were spread by those who claimed that they saw the Divine Prophet Andraste herself lead Adar out of the Fade. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut off here. And apparently it's also still affecting... Oh, gosh. You guys saw... her hair changed there just now, in between. I'm really hoping that this is not going to be a problem, but I guess I've temporarily lost the hairstyle that I chose for this character, and doesn't seem to be working properly, but if that's the case, oh well, I can always just go ahead and fix it later at the Black Emporium, I suppose, unless it's just causing an issue, but if that's the case, oh well, I'll just live with it. So anyways, I'll go ahead and cut off here. When we return, we will be trying to deal with, well, with that. Stay tuned.